welcome back to my channel. Today, love is in the air, and we are going to be talking about the top 10 palettes that you probably already have in your collection that you can use for Valentine's. If you're interested in seeing what my top picks are, then just keep watching. Okay guys, so thank you so much for clicking on my video. Today we're gonna have a little fun. We're gonna go through our collection, and I've picked out top 10 palettes that I would consider Valentine-ish type of palettes. They're not all gonna have the typical pink and purple color story, but I think that's the point. I think in the last couple of years, we have been inundated with like pink color story over pink color story over pink. And so I'm kind of over it a little bit, and I wanted to put a little different spin on this today. If you're new to my channel, we like to talk about makeup, a lot of eyeshadow, a lot of foundation. We just have a lot of fun here on my channel. If that's your thing, I would consider subscribing. You probably found a little home here on the internet. And go follow me on Instagram and Twitter. We have a lot of fun over there. I do like to post daily looks on the palettes that I'm using over on Instagram. Sometimes TikTok, sometimes Twitter, but anyway, go follow me there and let's be friends. During the video, make sure and like it if you like the video. It really does help my channel out a lot when you hit the like button, so definitely do that. All right, let's get started. Okay, I'm gonna start with a palette. I'm kind of doing a little throwback here. I haven't been into makeup that long, you guys. It's been about 2 or 3 years. Well, 3-ish years. I've always loved makeup and the application of makeup, but for a very long time, I was the type of person that only had one foundation, only had one eyeshadow palette, one blush. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I would say that's a lot more normal than where I am today. But I'm definitely a makeup enthusiast and have really dove into color in the last couple of years. And so a throwback for me might not be a throwback for you, so I'll just say that. But the first palette that I wanted to show you is one of my more pricier palettes that I bought back in the day, and I'm talking about the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Remastered palette. This was so beautiful, you guys. I think that I saw it in Sephora for quite a few months before I decided to purchase it. I did wait till it went on sale, but like, look at this cover. One thing Huda knows is how to take a beautiful photo. I mean, look at that cover there. I wasn't really into makeup when the Rose Gold palette came out. So I came in when Rose Gold Remastered came out. And so you have like this little film that mirrors the cover. But look at this color story. Very romantic, very Victorian. I've definitely dug into those shimmers at the top quite a bit. This was one of the first reds that I had in my collection ever in my life. So I really enjoyed this palette. I thought that the formulas were beautiful. The shimmers were beautiful. They're still beautiful. I've just, you know, evolved in my shimmer game quite a bit since then. But I mean, you get some really beautiful shades in this palette. You do have a black, which I really appreciate because it does help deepen up some of these shades. But here are just some swatches that you can see. Look at how pretty those colors are. This red reminds me of another red that we're going to talk about in a little bit. But really pretty. I love this mossy green at the top here. I recently reviewed the Sydney Grace Be Mine palette, and it had a mossy green like this. And I thought like, I don't know if I've seen that, you know. But let me show you what these swatches look like. Look at how pretty that is. I will say that with the red, you don't get as much of a punch. I mean, there's a little bit of a berry undertone to that, so it's not truly red, but it really is beautiful. I really like it. You can do like a pink shimmery look. You can add the red to make it a berry look. But you could do like a neutral and then smoke it out with the black. I mean, it's really gorgeous. And you have these really nice champagne-y shimmers as well. So yeah, really like this palette, and I think this is a good Valentine's palette. I will say that the order of the palettes is not in any particular ranking of any sort. These are just palettes that I have in my collection that I really like for Valentine's. Number 2 is Natasha Denona Retro. Duh. I mean, I was actually kind of shocked that this wasn't my best of 2021 in beauty, because I love this color story so much, you guys. It is beautiful. It's perfection. The reason why I think it didn't win best of 2021 is because, you know, we stick to a certain color story in this palette, you know, whereas sometimes I crave a little more color. I definitely crave green. I have to have green in my best of 2021. But this color story was so romantic, so beautiful. All the berries, the deep maroons, I mean, everything from the topper shades to the mattes to the shimmers were just perfection in my opinion. They blended beautifully. Everything was so, so good. And I just really, really enjoyed it. We have this little pewter shade there that is just so beautiful. And I think when I think of Valentine's, Natasha Denona, everybody automatically will think of the Love palette, you know, which is very much on theme for that holiday. But in my opinion, I think that this is a better one for Valentine's if we're trying to get away from like the purples and the brighter pink color story. Love, love, love this palette. You even get a little shimmer up here that gives you a glance of like the Natasha Denona glam. It's so beautiful. I really, really love this palette. Next, Mama Pat always has to be a part of the conversation, and I'm going to go with the Bridgerton palette. I didn't film my video on this. I did quite a few looks, and I posted them on Instagram, but I do like this, and along with it, it goes with the love story of Bridgerton, you know, that Netflix show, which I love so much, but I like this. So we have a little bit of like a nude brown shade, but it had a really beautiful like mauve or purple undertone to this brown. It's really very beautiful. And then you have a little bit of red, a little bit of pink, and then this gorgeous, gorgeous shimmer here, which is this blue that it just, I don't know, I love it. I posted a look wearing it on Instagram. Look at how pretty. I love, like, you know, just the variety. And look, check out this brown, you guys. I know that Pat McGrath puts a brown or neutral shades in every single palette for her mattes, but this brown is different. It's so beautiful. And like I said, has like these mauve purpley undertones. It's gorgeous. Here they are up close. Let me swatch them for you. The red was a little lackluster, but I'm not into it for the red. I'm into it for the shimmer and for this brown. Look at this neutral shade. It is perfection in my opinion. It's cool tone, it's mauve, but it's got those browns in there. Like, I think that is the most delicious shade ever. And of course, this little wet topper shade here, the special shade she put in there, is really, really beautiful. The two satin or shimmers in here were like meh. You know, they're always pretty good with Pat McGrath. She has great quality, but nothing to like write home about or anything. But it was this shade here and this shade here that just stole my heart. Going back to Huda, the Naughty palette. This is so, so pretty. I didn't initially buy this. This was actually a gift from my friend Kara here on YouTube. And I really, really like how girly, how pinky, like how mauve this color story is. Honestly, some of my favorite shades are going to be this one here, and of course this one here. So, so pretty. Look at this duochrome. Oh, so, so beautiful. Look at these mattes. They're so creamy. So beautiful. I do believe that Huda Beauty's palettes and like her formula is kind of underrated. I think it's so, so pretty. I don't have a lot of Huda Beauty palettes. I think I only have 2 or 3, but this is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And again, you know, in staying away from the reds and the pinks, I do have quite a bit of mauve tones in my palettes today, but I think like maybe that's a good spin. Maybe that's a good transition from all the purple and the pink that we've seen the last couple years. I know that it had like this really nasty shade here, like the petri dish, which is supposed to be like a glow that you can top the eyeshadow look with. I don't think it works. It creased the hell out of my lids, so I don't use it. It just sits there. At one point, I almost considered like carving it out because it's so nasty, but it is what it is. It's fine. Obviously, people didn't hate it that much because she included another one in the next palette, so, you know, whatever, to each their own. The next one is a quad that I've had in my collection for quite some time. It's a Tom Ford quad. This is the Seductive Rose. And let me show you again. We're sticking with the purples, the mauves. Not the purples, but more of the mauve tones. It's kind of blown out. There we go. It's really, really pretty. The shimmers are like, you get a topper and you get a shimmer and a satin and a matte. And I really like this one. I think like for a while I was super into like the quads and like the smaller palettes because I was so indecisive. I didn't really understand color and blending it with other colors, and I still kind of don't. But I liked like the smaller ones so that I didn't have to think too much. It was like you had your look just done. And so for a while, I just really enjoyed the quads. Tom Ford was a brand that I just loved from the beginning. You know, I really did. I was super into luxury beauty before and like not too much color. And so this was one that was easy for me that I kind of knew what to do, like with the deeper shade and the shimmers and everything. This topper shade, although it's just a topper shade, it is so, so pretty. I mean, I showed it to you just a second ago, but it's so pretty. I mean, I don't know that like I go to Tom Ford for like eyeshadows anymore, but this was a really pretty shimmer. Like, you know, it gives you somewhat of that wet lid effect. This quad is not one of the ones that had the wet dry formula, but I just thought that this one was a really, really pretty one. And if you're into very soft and subtle looks, this could be a really good quad for you. I think I've also seen this at the cosmetics company store sometimes, but you know, they don't always have the same stuff there, but I think I've seen it there before. The next one was a gift from a really, really beautiful friend of mine that I've made here on YouTube. She's a subscriber. I mentioned that I didn't have any ABH palettes, and she messaged me and said, I have the Amrezy palette. I've never even used it. Like, do you want it? And I said, yes. Now, the first thing that this color story reminds me of is like Barbie and Ken. I don't know why. Maybe it's the pinks and the blue, the pop of blue here. It just reminds me of Barbie. But if you start to like study the color story, it really is beautiful. You have some pinks. I really like this one in the middle, like a magenta type of pink. You have the neutrals and then the shimmers up at the top. I think they're so beautiful. You also get the deeper brown and the black, which I think is essential for a Valentine's Day palette because you can smoke it out and like deepen it up for like a date night type of look. So I really, really like that. One of my favorite shades in this palette is actually a pink shimmer. It's this one here called Barb. This one I've gone in on pretty hard, but it's so nice. And you're gonna see that I'm loving like a lot of the pink shimmers. It is just a really, really beautiful like duochrome shade, wet looking shade. It's got pink, it's got flecks of gold in there, and almost like a purple luminescence to it. I know you guys can't really see it too much here, but it is such a beautiful, beautiful shade. And the reason why it stands out to me is like, before I discovered indie makeup, like I didn't really pay attention to special shades like that. And now that I find like little hidden gems and palettes like at Sephora or Ulta, I get really excited like, okay, let's test out the formula. Now, I still believe that like indie does these types of shades way better than the mainstream brands, but still, it's exciting when you find them in a palette that you find at Ulta. So this is the next one that I really, really love for Valentine's. I looked at all my motherships, okay? And the ones that stood out for Valentine's are always gonna be the Divine Rose 1 or 2, mostly 2 also. But the one that I chose was the most recent one, Utopian Dream. It is, again, you're gonna get really pretty mattes. I really did like this pink here. I thought it was so, so good. And really what I wanted the palette for. Obviously, the one that stands out, of course, is gonna be one of these special shades because we haven't really seen like a duochrome quite like this before from Mama Pat. I also really like the one on top, and actually my favorite was the one on the top here. It kind of feels like a pressed glitter. I don't want to compare Pat McGrath to ColourPop, but it kind of feels like a pressed glitter to me. But it really is beautiful. Look at those. That is really pretty. So instead of doing pink, we do like pink with a corally or apricot twist. Like, it's so, so pretty. I really, really love this shade. It's so special. Like, when I saw it release, like sneak peeks, I was like, meh. But then I got it because I knew, like, you just don't play with Mama Pat. It is good. And look at these shades, you guys. So, so pretty. Look at that. The shift. And like I said, my favorite one is going to be the shimmer all the way at the bottom. You mix it with some Maron mixing or the artistry wand and you are in business. This is such a beautiful matte that she's done here too. But this is a look. This is a look. I mean, even just the matte with the shimmer at the bottom, I've done that before and it's so beautiful. Okay, now let's talk about what's on my eyes. I am loving. This is going to be my pick for a Valentine's 2022 look, okay? I am loving this. I wasn't too sure on the lip. I didn't know if like I wanted to go with like a berry or with a nude, but I figured I always go with a nude lip, so I wanted to do something a little bit more bold for Valentine's. But you guys, the color and everything, I think I'm obsessed with this look, okay? So let me do like a little close-up. And actually, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to insert just a B-roll of me putting this look together. But before I do that, I wanted to show you the palette that I'm talking about, which is Alien Cosmetics, now Unearthly Cosmetics, Strawberry Milkshake. You would not think that this is a Valentine's color story, especially after I show you, but it really is, you guys. It is so pretty. I recently ranked my Unearthly Cosmetics palettes, and I was just laying all my palettes out on the floor and just swatching and having a good time, unwinding at the end of my day. And when I talk about it in the video, when I swatched this one, I was like, because I haven't played with this palette too much, but I knew that I wanted to do something with it. And so I took this color with my favorite shimmer duochrome that Unearthly Cosmetics has, which is the shade Sphinx, and we put this look together. Instead of B-roll, let's go ahead and cut into how I put that look together, and then we'll come back and we'll finish off the palettes.
You take my love for granted. Say a bunch of stuff you never mean, yeah. I think I need a minute to figure out my limits. We cross them more than once, yeah. You take my love for granted. We keep on talking from body to body, yeah. Getting closer to just being nothing else. I'm a sucker for your love, even though it's kind of toxic, babe. You know I feel it when we touch. That your love is from a different place. It's toxic, babe. Not sure what I expected. To think you wouldn't be so reckless. I keep on pretending I know we better end it. I said it more than once, yeah. You take my love for granted. We keep on talking from body to body.
Okay, as you can see, that is the most beautiful berry color ever. I really love this look. I'm obsessed with it. Like, I have to do this more often. This is gorgeous. The next one is also a small one. I'm talking about my Chanel Candor et Seduction. This was fall 2020, but it is such a favorite in my collection. And, you know, again, you're seeing a red color story. I'm just kind of into it this year. I don't know what it is. I recently wore this palette or this quad in my Chanel foundation video. I also talked about how like these eyeshadows, they like the mattes, they feel like silk or like a velvet. They're not powdery, they're not anything. They're so smoothing on the lids, and it just looks so classy, so beautiful. I'll pop a picture here so you can see that eye look. It's red, but it comes together in the classiest of ways, and I'm obsessed with this little quad. The Chanel Blurry Greens used to be my favorite quad, and ever since I got this one, like, I kind of realized like I like this one a whole lot more. The Blurry Greens kind of gave me like Charlotte Tilbury vibes, where like a lot of it are like shimmers and stuff, and I don't know, it gets a little muddy for me. So this one is my favorite, and I think it's the perfect little quad for Valentine's. I'm not sure if you can get it, but again, we're talking about palettes that you may already have in your collection. Okay, the next one, we're going back to indie, and I am talking about Adept Cosmetics Ninhydrin palette. If I had to rank the 4 Adept Cosmetics palettes that I own, this is number 1 every single time. It is just so gorgeous and everyday wearable. It's the one that I've kind of like worked in the most, and just for everyday looks, I love like this purpley, mauvey, gray undertone matte. I think it's beautiful. It's just a little bit more gray than the Pat McGrath one. And then I also love the other green matte. I just thought that they were the perfect addition to these shimmers. All of these shimmers are absolutely glorious. The one that I like the most with the with this mauve purple matte here is ACI 24. It is just perfection. Every time I wear these two, I get a lot of compliments. Like, people really love it. Another one that I really like is the ACI 18. If you have neutral shades, you just throw this one in the lid and it is so pretty. Look at that. Oh my God. It's like a rose gold shimmer and it's so perfect. Adept Cosmetics has, I don't know. They have one of the most amazing formulas, in my opinion, out there. I've heard people say, like, conspiracy theories, like Adept Cosmetics probably developed this amazing formula and then sold it to a bunch of other indie brands, because we have found a lot of dupes with other brands, you know, on some of these shimmers and such. If they did, good for them, because they got to spread the wealth. I mean, yeah, look at this. Look at this palette. It is so beautiful. And this kind of gives you like a grungy Valentine's look. It's not going to give you any of the hot pinks or the purples or anything like that, but it gives you that grunge with this green right here that I just love. And of course, shimmer is always going to be in for Valentine's. It's a day where we can be extra girly, extra pretty. If we go out for a date night, we want a little shimmer on our eyelids. And so yeah, this is such a beautiful palette. Ugh. I know she's releasing, or she recently released, the Plain Jane Remastered, which was also a big hit. Those shimmers are absolutely gorgeous as well, but this is my pick for one of the Valentine's Day palettes. And that's it, guys. Those are my top picks for Valentine's Day color stories that we don't normally think about. These are older palettes that may already be in your collection. I did want to make a special honorary mention to the newest one to my collection, which is the Be Mine palette from Sydney Grace. I already have a review and 2 looks up on my channel with this palette, but this color story is what got me thinking about the video, because I said this is not a traditional like Valentine's Day color story, and what else do I have in my collection that doesn't scream Valentine's, you know? And so this is what kind of started this video. But I do love this palette. Sydney Grace formula is absolutely amazing. I'll link the video up here so you guys can go check it out if you're interested in this palette. But yeah, just wanted to make an honorary mention because it's very much on theme. So there you have it, guys. Those are my picks for Valentine's Day palettes, color stories that may not scream Valentine's, but they really are, in my opinion, of course. If you enjoyed the video, make sure and give it a like. Share it with somebody that you think might like it. That's one thing that I often don't ask for. Please help me share the videos. That really does help my channel out quite a bit. We're growing. Welcome to all of my new subscribers. I love you guys so much. We're gonna have so much fun this year. I can feel it. It's already a good year. And so thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Yeah.